Hello everybody and welcome back to Red Devils TV. Now this is your Manchester United versus West Ham preview for the weekend match. So yeah, let's just get right into it. So I've just got a few topics I want to talk about obviously real quick. So obviously we've got the likes of Maguire possibly starting. Will Lindelof get dropped? Garnacho to also keep Sancho out of the squad. Will Ronaldo start? How will Ten Hag set up? So yeah, we've got quite a few interesting topics we want to talk about. So obviously we'll just get right into the video. So we'll start off with the Maguire and Lindelof situation. So obviously, as we know, Rafa Varane is obviously out injured. He's out until possibly the World Cup, possibly back just before the World Cup so we can go on international duty. Hopefully he doesn't, I don't think, because I feel like we shouldn't. I mean, I don't know if the club has the power to do this, but the club should be able to, I think, block that international break because we don't want Varane to possibly get even more injured during the World Cup. So that's just my opinion. So yeah, I feel like while Varane's out injured, United need to have that established centre-back partnership with Martinez. And personally, I think Lindelof has been the better candidate and a better partner with Martinez as Maguire has been. Now, obviously, Maguire hasn't played for quite a long time with Martinez now. It's been quite a while. I'm pretty sure the last game that they actually played together was the Brentford 4-0 loss, if I'm correct. So it's been a long time since them two played a full 90 together. So obviously he's only just come back through injury. So I feel like it would be a shame if Maguire does start over over Lindelof. But you also think about that West Ham are quite a physical side. So will he want to have the height of Maguire to help out Martinez's lack of height? Because obviously you've got Scamacca, who is, I believe, 6'5". You've got Antonio, who's a very physical striker. So maybe he will want to have a physical defender like Maguire in the team, and maybe that will edge him to be picked, Maguire to be picked over Lindelof. Personally, like I've said, I feel like Lindelof deserves to start. I feel like he's been a 7 out of 10 pretty much every game when he's played, when he's had to come in for Varane. So yeah, I feel like that. Yeah, like I said, I just feel like Lindelof's a better candidate for the rotation position while Varane's out injured. Now, like I said, Maguire, he had a good 45 minutes against Sheriff last night. Even though he didn't have to do much and didn't have to defend much, his passing accuracy was okay, his pass completion rate was okay. So the stats will tell you that the stats will be quite high. So that'll be the English media talking about how Maguire deserves to start. But strictly speaking, does he? He's only just come back through injury. He hasn't been a consistently good player in recent times. He's been quite average, which average is okay. It's a 6 out of 10. Average is okay, but you don't really want to be having average players as your starting players, is what I'm trying to say. So for me, Maguire shouldn't start. Bring him on if needed for 20 minutes or so at the end of the game if you need that extra physicality. But just for now, I would start Martinez and Lindelof. Another big headline, Garnacho to keep Sancho out of the starting 11. Now, obviously, Garnacho played against Sheriff Thursday night. He played very well. He exceeded a lot of expectations. Obviously, quite a lot of fans have known about him through the youth setup and stuff over recent times. I've known him for quite a while. He's a very good player. He has a lot of promise, and I feel like he's one of the more exciting and more known youth players for Manchester United. And obviously he's been training with the first team for quite some time now, and he's been, like I said, he's been playing very well. And obviously he's done something very well in training this week to obviously, because like I said, that in my match reaction for Sheriff and United, that obviously Ten Hag knew he was going to pick either Alanga or Garnacho to start over Sancho against Sheriff. So obviously Garnacho obviously impressed Ten Hag more than Alanga did. So it's quite a big thing, I think. That now obviously people can think that it's nothing that major, it's nothing that's supposed to be a news headline, But I personally do think that Garnacho should start at weekend. Sancho hasn't been poor whatsoever. I've said many times now that over in recent times, Ten Hag has proved he can drop players if they're not performing well, and he has also proved that he won't give players an easy ride out. So, and he'll give players chances. So I just personally think that Garnacho deserves to start. And if he's struggling in 45 minutes when he's not used to the physicality of the Premier League, then sub him off. That's okay. But as I've also said many times, that Sancho has done nothing to help United win games in recent times. So yeah, that's just my opinion on the Garnacho situation. I really do think that Garnacho should start, because I think he had a good 45 minutes. He had a good game against Sheriff. Like I said, he obviously exceeded a lot of people's expectations. And don't forget, people, as well, that Martial started as a United player young. Rashford came from the youth setup. McTominay came from the youth setup. Axel Tuanzebe came from the youth setup, and so did Mason Greenwood. Now, these players have obviously, some of them not have all had a great career. Some of them have had a very early career. Some of them have stayed at United, like McTominay and Rashford. And I honestly think if Garnacho is an established player and improves under Ten Hag, look at what Phil Foden's doing for Man City right now. He was brought in game by game and given a chance, and then eventually he's become a world-class superstar. And hopefully Garnacho can do the same thing. I feel like Garnacho has a lot of potential. He's obviously very privileged to have Ronaldo at his club and gets to play with Messi in international level. So obviously he can learn a lot from both goats, really. So yeah, what else did I say about talking about Ronaldo not to start? Did I say that? I don't know. I don't think Ronaldo will start. I feel like he will play Rashford through the middle. He'll play Garnacho on the left and Antony on the right. And obviously, speaking about Antony, if you haven't watched my match reaction for the Sheriff match, obviously he had that situation where Antony did his spin around and then passed it out of play. Obviously, Ten Hag wasn't impressed. A lot of the fans weren't impressed. The media blew it way out of proportion. The pundits also blew it way out of proportion. It was just an unnecessary situation. But what other right winger do we actually have? Unless you played Alanga on the right. But then Ten Hag would probably, if we lost the game, then Ten Hag would be blamed because he's played two youth players in a not ready Alanga and a nurturing Garnacho. And then Rashford through the middle, who is debatable not a centre-forward. Obviously, Ten Hag sees him as a centre-forward. He also sees him in many attacking situations, like a 10, like number 10, like wingers, like centre-forwards. But recently, in more recent times, Rashford's been the centre-forward, the number 9 of the team, while Martial's been out, while Ronaldo's been out. So yeah, like I said, I think he'll play Rashford through the middle, Garnacho on the left, and Antony on the right. But yeah, we're just doing our random predicted 11. I might as well carry on. I'll go with De Gea for goalkeeper, Dalot for right back. I think that rest against Sheriff really helped out when Malacia played at right back for the rest of the game. Yeah, Lindelof and Martinez, Shaw, Casemiro, Eriksen, Bruno, and then obviously Garnacho, Rashford and Antony. So that's the team that I go for, like I've already said. And what other topics, really? Will we win the midfield battle? As we know that West Ham have got a very decent midfield. They've obviously got Declan Rice, Lucas Paqueta, and obviously others. So, but them players are the big names of the midfield for West Ham. Now, West Ham have obviously had a bit of a shaky start to the Premier League. They've lost a few games, they've drawn a few games, and they've won a few games. So, obviously, David Moyes was under pressure at some point, but obviously I think West Ham are 13th. What position are we now? I think they're between 12th and 14th. I might be wrong, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that they're around mid-table. So, you know, it's a must-win game for United. As in every game, really. But really, I feel like United will win the midfield battle. I think our midfield has really improved over the last 12 months. Obviously, United have gone from McTominay, Fred and Bruno to Casemiro, Eriksen, Bruno. Now, it's good. It's one of the greatest turnarounds in a year for a midfield. And I also did really like to see, I mean, maybe that's another one you could go for. Obviously, Ten Hag mentioned that he experimented Rashford and Ronaldo to play together, and Rashford was played as number 10. So kind of like a false 9, really, where he was, like I said, he was a false 9 centre forward, but Ronaldo was the more stay forward type, where Rashford was more between the halfway line and the opponent's box, where Ronaldo was constantly in the box, if that makes sense. So maybe he could do the same backline, as I always said, the same midfield with Casemiro and Eriksen, but then play as Rashford as the number 10, Garnacho on the left, and Fernandes on the right, and then Ronaldo through the middle, maybe. Maybe that could be a possibility, who knows? But yeah, that's just the team I've gone for. I feel like it'll go for the first team, because obviously I just think you won't play Ronaldo, and if Rashford is struggling to score goals, then you can bring Ronaldo on, and then you can probably take off Garnacho if he's not playing too well, or Antony, whoever. So whoever's not creating enough or scoring enough or creating chances enough against West Ham, then obviously that could be the situation what happens when you bring Ronaldo on. But yeah, I'll go for a score prediction now. I'm going to go for 2-0 United. I feel like West Ham haven't been scoring enough goals lately, which I think that's been their issue. And I feel like Martinez has been very good recently, all season. Shaw's really got his form back. Dalot's had a rest now, so hopefully he plays really well. And Lindelof, I think, can do a good enough job, as well as Casemiro, being that holding midfielder who's been superb since we've signed him. So, yeah, that's just my match preview for the West Ham versus United. I forgot what my team name was called then, but yes, thank you for watching today's video as always. I think that's pretty much everything that I need to talk about, isn't it? Yeah, pretty much. I'll let you know. I'll carry on a little bit. Possession wise, I feel like United will dominate, as we did against Spurs and Chelsea over recent times. I don't think, like, obviously we saw what Graham Potter did when United were dominating. He knew his formation wasn't working, so he changed it to Kovacic from Cucurella. And I don't think David Moyes has the facilities and the rotation to make a substitution so early in the game. So maybe if United dominate early, then it could be a good game for Manchester United and Ten Hag's Red Devils. But yeah, that's just a little extra bit I wanted to talk about. But yes, thank you for watching today's video. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment and share. And yeah, we're on 61 subscribers. Please remember to subscribe, as I've just said. And yes, I'll see you in the next one. And thank you for watching today's video. Goodbye.